Hello everybody. In this quick video, I'm going to show you how we can perform time series forecasting using Microsoft Power BI in less than 5 minutes. So I have my ValQ visual on the canvas expanded to a full screen mode. And the data that I have is that of a fictitious multinational beverage company. I have the actuals and planned data for the last 3 years from 2017 till 2019. Now, in order to start mapping the data, all I do is just click on the visual and assign actuals for 2019, 2018, and 2017. And now that they get assigned here, the visual also becomes active. I just need to go and click on create a simple model. And while I'm at it, let me also go and enter my license key here. And now that I've saved it, I can go and click on simulate. And now that I've assigned the data values, I also need to tell the model that I'm actually bringing in data for 12 months. And to do that, I add the time period values, basically the names of all the 12 months. And once I'm done with that, I just need to map some categories here. So I'm going to select region, sub-region, category, and finally the subcategory. And let me minimize the fields pane. Now here you're going to see the sales data for the entire company, and note that this value is actually for 2019 and it's being compared with 2018 to show the conditional formatting here. Now in the second level I have the region followed by the sub-region, and then when I expand a particular sub-region I get the product category and then the subcategory, the same order in which we map the data here. Now, in order to perform time series forecasting, I need to click on Plan and say I'll lock the model so that there are no further changes. And let me start off with an empty series here. Now, in the empty series, I'm going to get a structure based on the mapping that we did. And here, I'm going to perform time series forecasting for EMEA for the year 2020 based on data for the last 3 years. Now I can perform time series forecasting at the company level, region level, or category level and so forth, and even for specific months, but I'm just going to do it for EMEA right now. So let me click on the auto forecast. And once I do that, I need to bring in the 3 years of data now. So I'm defining the inputs for the time series forecasting process. And I can also add relative weights to each of these 3 years, but I'm going to leave them as is. I also have the option to add an additional growth on top of the time series forecast, either in absolute or percentage terms. I'm going to leave it empty for now. And when I click on advanced options, I can also go and choose a specific method of my liking that fits my data the best. So I have linear moving averages, weighted moving averages, where I can give weightages for the different months. I can also choose a nice distribution method that I think will best fit my data. But if you feel that you are not aware of a lot of these time series forecasting methods, you can simply go with the auto forecast. Now remember that none of this requires you to, let's say, integrate any external resource like a library from Python or R, or it doesn't require you to set up a server. So everything happens within Power BI and within the ValQ visual. So once I've given my inputs, I can just click on preview, and the auto forecast option is going to give me 3 options to out of which I can choose one from. And as I choose one of these methods, optimize, balance, and conservative, you can also see minor changes on the chart and the table. The dotted line is the new projected forecast for 2020, the time series forecast. And I can also look at the data for the entire year or the individual months in the table, notified as new series 1. And if I don't like what I'm seeing, I can go back and choose a different method or give different weights. But here I'm just going to go and click on apply. When I select apply, something interesting happens. So while we did time series forecasting for EMEA, it also rolls up the results onto the international geography and to the overall company. And ValQ also allocates or spreads this forecast to the constituent categories and subcategories for EMEA based on historic weights. Now I have the option to use different forecasting methods for different regions, different categories and so forth. And with this, we are able to do time series forecasting in less than 5 minutes. And in one of the subsequent videos, I'll show you how we can go and fine tune this data further to create your baseline budget for 2020. You might be running a campaign in the month of March for juices, or you might be planning an acquisition in the second quarter of the year. So you need to go and make these finer adjustments based on your business efforts and initiatives, and that will be a topic for a subsequent video. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you and have a great day.